Hi, my name is Celine Bedrosian, and the article that I researched was called Two Worlds Apart, Black-White Differences in Beliefs About Why African American Men Are Disproportionately Imprisoned, and it was written by James D. Unnever in the Criminology Journal of 2008. And the question that they ask are, why and are black men more likely to be imprisoned than those of other races? The dependent variables were poverty, denial of jobs, poor schools, police bias, unfair courts, bad morals, and bad parenting. The independent variable was prior criminal justice system experiences, and the hypothesis that was made was, are those with prior experience in the criminal justice system more influenced in their opinion of the dependent variables? The research methods that were used were the analyzing of the Washington Post by Henry J. Kaiser Family Foundation, the Harvard University 2006 African American Survey, telephone random digit dialing, the RDD, was used because it's relatively easy to gain access to information, and computer-assisted telephone interviewing system, the CATI. It was used from March 20th, 2006 to April 29th, 2006. And 1,328 African American males were used, 400 African American males ranging from 18 to 29 years of age, 507 African American women, 1,029 and 1,029 other individuals from other races and ethnic groups. The strategies that were used were that those excluded were for reasons that they would not label themselves as specifically black or white, those that are mixed or of multiple races. Surveys with missing data was also excluded because you couldn't get the full information, and luckily no more than 1/3 of the respondents were deleted. Then the results were separated depending on their race and the answers that were perceived. The results that were founded were that African Americans were more likely to believe that the big reason that African Americans are incarcerated were because of police bias, and 71% of the results were in that favor, while whites believed that the largest reason that African Americans are incarcerated was because of poverty at 63%. And the least likely reason why the races believed that African Americans were incarcerated were because blacks thought that it was not because of not knowing that the crime was wrong at 42%, and whites believed that courts were charging more African Americans was the least likely reason that an African American would be placed behind bars at 28%. There were some ethical concerns of racism because they didn't know if the African Americans or other races felt like they were being targeted or biased, along with ethical bias. They didn't want anybody's feelings being hurt. And this would be interesting to a sociologist because it answers to one, it was to find the answers to if one's own race is harsher on oneself than to another race, and then if it is so that one race is more biased towards oneself, why is it that way? And it could also be interesting to a criminologist because you could study the dependent variables such as the poverty and parental bad parenting and stuff like that, and see if that goes along with more crimes and where the crimes occur. A different research method that could have been used would be interviews, in-person interviews with those inside of prisons and jails that are already, because once they've experienced it, they might better understand why they were there, and it would explain their motives. And it's interesting and could be used for the general public because of safety, awareness, and prevention, and